Okay, everyone, make yourselves comfortable. Maybe sit on a bolster or block in an easy seat, legs crossed in front. So today's lesson will just be a little bit about stretching, why we do it, or why is it good for us. And the first reason is posture. Helps us, keep ourselves erect, taller. Good posture prevents back pain. And it also allows us to move more. We give a better range of motion if we're flexible. Otherwise, our muscles are sore, they're tight, all the fibers don't work together, so you can't move as much. So stretching improves posture, improves range of motion. So that also prevents back pain as you strengthen your core and keep yourself in a good posture. Prevents injury. If you are tight and then you move a little further than you should, you might get injured. And then it really just kind of helps your mind as well, keeps you good mindfulness and centered. If you have good posture, you can feel good about yourself. So we'll work on stretching today. I'm going to add a new move when we're in a downward dog, where we fold our arms underneath and stretch out on our shoulders. But to start with, we'll go into our body scan and meditation. So everyone just move anything you have underneath and lie back on your mat. Yourself one vertebrae at a time. So first we start with relaxation and meditation. That kind of also gets the body ready for stretching. With your palms at your sides, palms face up or face down. Start to slow your breathing. Let your feet relax, splay outward. You stretch your legs out a little bit more, make sure they're at their full extension. And your breathing will be naturally. And wiggle your toes. And then relax your toes. Point and flex your feet. And then relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Continuing to breathe naturally at your own pace. Relax your legs, the calves, thighs, back of your legs. Feel the back of your knees supported by a cushion of air. Your kneecaps fall outward. Relax your fingertips. Holding a little pocket of air in your palms. Feel your sacrum pressing into the mat. Feel the support of the floor, foundation, and earth. And then relax your wrists. and your forearms. Relax your elbows. Continuing to breathe naturally. Relax the vertebrae in your lower back. Just recognize the arch that it forms above the mat. And feel your mid-back resting on the mat. Feel your biceps and triceps relax. Relax your shoulder blades. And breathe. Relax the shoulders. Relax the neck. Feel your rib cage rising very slowly, very small movement. All the muscles around your ribs are relaxed. Relax your jaw. And if the tongue is on the roof of your mouth, let it drop into the center of your mouth. Feel the back of your head resting gently on the mat. Relax the top of your head and your forehead. Relax the cheek muscles. And breathe. Now start to deepen your breath, bringing energy back into your body. Inhaling prana, yoga word for breath. and the energy that it brings with it. Wiggle your toes and fingers. And roll your head side to side. And then bring your soles of your feet in towards your hips, knees in the air. Rock them side to side. And then when you're ready, roll over into a fetal position. And then with the top palm into the mat, push yourself back up into the comfortable seat. Again, in an easy seat with your feet crossed in front. Hands on your knees. Palms face up or face down. And breathe, inhale. And exhale. This time shoulders up, inhale. Exhale, back and down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. And then inhale. And drop your head to your chest on an exhale. Come back up. And exhale. Continue. Keeping your spine erect out of the bowl of your pelvis. Shoulders are back and down. Once more. This time move your head to the right and back to center and to the left. Exhaling as you drop, inhaling as you come up. Keeping your shoulders down. And come to center. And drop your head and begin a slow circle. Moving your head up and back, not back and down to the rear. Inhaling as you roll to the rear, exhaling as you come forward. And then come to center and start in the other direction. Inhaling and exhaling, timed with the movement. And then come to center and put your fingertips to the edges of the mat to your sides and lean down to the right, resting the elbow on the mat, raising the left hand overhead. And feeling the stretch in this position. I'll take a total of 5 breaths in here. And inhale, come back to center and drop to the other side. Relax the opposite hip. And then on an inhale, come back to center. Hands on your knees again. Then moving your left hand to your right knee. Keeping your spine erect, twist to the side. Right palm on the floor behind you. And breathe. Five breaths in this position. And then on an exhale, come back to center, moving to the opposite side, keeping the spine erect. And then on inhale, come back to center. And stretch your legs in front of you. If you've been sitting on anything, remove that. So you're sitting on your bottom, on your mat. Again, keep back. Knees can be slightly bent if you feel any pressure. Sitting and flex. This is also done with the breath. Inhale as you flex. Exhale as you extend. And then we'll do our fold in your lower back. Inhale and exhale, tilt. And inhale once more. And exhale, fold over and hold. And breathe. Pull down to your thighs, shins or toes. But feeling then release, come back to center. Then move your legs into a wide V. Again, keeping the knee bent as you move towards the fold. So we'll inhale, exhale, tilt, facing one leg. Inhale again, and then fold over. Leg or foot. Your other leg is cramping, you just bring it in towards the center. Today we're and then release, come back to center. The other side, continue the wide V or bring one leg into your, if you're having any trouble with stretching this leg. And then inhale, exhale, tilt. Inhale again, and then fold. You may feel this in your shoulders as well as your lower back. And release, come back. Extend both legs and draw. Leg, draw the other leg in. Grasp with the opposite arm. Other hand on the floor behind you. And with your spine erect, breathe and twist. And then release, come back to center. And draw both feet, soles together in front of you. And keeping your spine straight, just tilt forward. And then inhale. And fold over and hold. Pulling yourself closer to your feet with your hands, pushing your legs outward with your elbows. And breathe. Pull yourself a little bit more forward. This is opening the hips in, feeling the lower back stretch. And release, come back to center. Cross your leg. Then push forward into a tabletop position. On all fours, your hands are below your shoulders, fingers are splayed wide, lightly gripping the mat. Knees below your hips, tops of your feet resting on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, drop back to child's pose and hold. Drawing your head to the mat. And breathe. Exhale, come up to tabletop. Exhale, drop back down. Exhale, drop back down. And then your hands to the opposite side. Up to tabletop. In all these stretches, you remember to relax into the stretch when you are doing the hold, and try to let your breathing help your tightness relax. Now we'll do a few circles, starting with a small 2-inch circle, shifting your weight from hand to hand and knee to knee. And you can drop all the way back to a child's pose if you like. Exhaling to the rear, inhaling as you come forward. And then make the circle smaller and come to a stop. And then make the circles in the opposite direction, as small or as big as you like. Circles smaller. To rest on all fours. And drop your elbows to the mat into a puppy dog position. Hips are in the air. Stomach is lowered. Let your shoulder blades come in towards each other and breathe. If you like, you can extend your arms along the mat and lower your head a little bit more, but hips are in the air. And then walk your hands back under your elbows, come back up to tabletop. Inhale into a cat position, raising your back. Exhale to cow. Inhale, cat. Exhale. Continue cat and cow. A few more. And then come to center. Move the left knee 2 inches towards the center line. Extend the right leg back. Toes are curled. Push back on the calf muscle and breathe. Five breaths. And then come back, releasing the pressure, but raise that right leg and cross it over the left. Drop the toes to the mat. Look over your left shoulder to your right toes. And breathe. And then raise that leg. Bring the knee in to join the other. And drop back to child's pose and rest. And come back to center. Put the opposite leg back, toes are curled. Push back to stretch the calf muscle. Your spine is in line. Shoulders are back away from your ears. And then release the stretch of the calf. Raise that leg, cross it over the other one, and twist to look back at those toes. And release, bring that leg back to the center line, join the other knee, and come back to child's pose once more. And relax. And come back up to tabletop. Move one knee slightly in towards center. Extend the other leg, back toes are curled for our balance. And raise the opposite hand. And if you like, raise that extended leg. And bring the knee and hand back to the mat. Extend the opposite leg, toes are curled. Extend the opposite arm. If you like, raise the back leg. And then bring both hand and knee back to the mat. Drop once again to child's pose. Then come back to your tabletop. And move your left hand in towards the center line. Raise your right hand up in the air, looking to the right. And then we're going to thread the needle and bring the shoulder down towards the mat. This is the new stretch I promised. You can extend that bent arm in front of you or keep it at a 90-degree angle, hand on the mat. And inhale, come back up to all fours. Walk the right hand in slightly towards the center line. Raise the left arm overhead. And then thread the needle, bringing that shoulder down to the mat. Opposite hand can be in a 90-degree angle or extended along the mat. And then inhale, come back to tabletop. Curl your toes and push into a down dog. And walking the dog. And breathe. And then drop your knees to the mat. Extend your arms in front of you. Come all the way down onto your belly. Hands extended out in front, legs behind. And roll onto one side, bending the top leg, grasping it with the top arm, and to stretch the quad muscle. 5 breaths. And then release it and roll on to the other side. Bending the leg, top arm. Onto your belly. Putting your hands by your shoulders and raise up into a baby cobra position. Hands can be on the mat or off the mat. And breathe. And then release, come back down to the mat. Extend your arms in front of you. Raise one leg and lower. And then the opposite leg, raise and lower. If you want, you can do the opposite arms with this movement, raising the leg and opposite arm at the same time. And then come back to resting. Arms and legs extended. And breathe. 5 breaths. And then bring your arms back onto your shoulders. Push up to a tabletop position. Drop back into child's pose. Up. You're sitting on your heels, using a block to raise yourself, to make yourself more comfortable. Bolster or blanket. And breathe. Put your right hand out to the edge of the mat and do a stretch of the side body to the right while in the seated warrior position. Come back to center, 5 breaths to the other side. Release. Onto your knees, spine is erect. And leaning back into a camel pose. Putting your hands on your waist, shoulders are back, head is looking up. You can drop your hands towards the mat or keep them on your waist. And breathe. And then come back to the tabletop position, curling your toes under, back to seated warrior. Come back to tabletop. Tap your toes on the mat to relax them. Back to child's pose. Go back up to tabletop, cross your ankles behind you, and come back to a seated position. Extend your legs in front. And we'll do some bridge work. So roll back onto your back, one vertebrae at a time. And bring your soles of your feet in towards your hips, knees in the air. And push up and hold into a bridge. 5 breaths. Squeezing your buttocks as you push up. And release, come down. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat and rock them side to side into a windshield wiper. And then come to center, walk your feet in towards the center again, and then cross the right ankle onto the left knee. And drop your knees to the right. Look over your left shoulder, arms in a T position. 5 breaths. Inhale, come back to center. And reach through to grasp your thigh to pull that knee into your chest, reclining pigeon. Rock till you find a sweet spot where you get the best stretch. And drop that leg to the ground, uncross your knees. Push up again into a bridge. 5 breaths, squeezing the buttocks. And lower down to the mat. Cross the left ankle onto the right knee. And drop the knees to the left. Arms in a T position, looking over your right shoulder. And come back to center. And reaching through to pull your thigh in towards your chest. 5 breaths. Release. Put both feet on the ground. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat. Dropping into a windshield wiper, right and left. Exhaling as you drop. Inhaling as you raise. And come back to center. One more bridge. Push up. Squeeze the buttocks. And lower the knees, their hips to the ground. And take a block or bolster, put under your sacrum, raising your hips again. Sacrum is the flat part of your lower back. Bring your knees into your chest. A little side to side. Extend them up to the ceiling. Feet are flexed. Arms are at your sides. And breathe. And drop your legs to the side to a wide V. Knees are bent or straight. And breathe. You can support your legs with your hands on your thighs. Inhale, bring them back to center. Everyone bring your knees in towards your chest. And then extend them along the mat into a supported fish. Walk your shoulder blades in towards each other. Shoulders are dropping out. Feel the stretch in your hips. And breathe. And then walk your feet back in towards your hips. Raise your hips up to remove any block or bolster. Walk your feet to the edges of the mat. Windshield wiper right and left. And come back to center. Bring the right knee in towards your chest. Extend the left leg. Relax it. Pull on the right knee. And switch for 5 breaths. Now bring both knees into the chest. Rock side to side. If you like, extend your soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Rock again side to side. Getting ready for Savasana. Extend your legs along the mat. If you have a blanket and would like to put it over your legs to make yourself more comfortable, feel free to do that. And we'll rest in Savasana for a few minutes. I will bring us out. Your breathing is normal. Just relaxing your whole body. Breathing normally. Start to bring energy back into your body, breathing a little deeper, wiggling your toes and fingers. And the head rolls side to side. And then when you're ready, roll onto one side into a fetal position. And with the top palm onto the mat, push yourself up into a seated position. And come back to that easy seat. Ankles crossed in front, spine erect out of the pelvis. Neck aligned with the spine. Hands on the knees, face up or face down. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Raising the shoulders up, back, and down. Again. again. Once more. So today we practiced something a little bit different. We did more stretching than flow. We held our stretches for 5 breaths to feel the stretch and let the muscles get the chance to relax in that stretched position. Working on the whole muscle from one end to the other, being able to stretch. And we talked about stretching being good for your posture, being good for your lower back, being good for preventing injuries, especially if you try to exercise. If you have a stretched body, you're less likely to get injured. And also, when you stretch, you become mindful and relaxed. Extend your arms towards the edges of the mat, fingertips lightly touching. On inhale, raise your hands overhead. Hands together. Exhale, hands to heart center. And bowing your head. I invite peace into myself to hold here and to share peace with those around me. I invite the greeting, Namaste. And thank you for letting me share my practice with you today.